When I was considering whom I should invite to share his view, I cannot say her view because the majority of our participants were always male, I was looking for a person that was with us from the very beginning and supported us throughout all the years, also during this event virtually today. For this keynote interview, I want to introduce you to the person I personally value very much. Please welcome my first guest today for the keynote interview, Antanas Šegžda, Chief Executive Officer of company Teltonika Telematics. Antanas, thank you for joining.
Hello, Alenka. Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for your kind introduction. It was very nice.
Thank you so much. So you actually sincerely missed our first event in 2011, but as Teltonika, you are part of our event from Ljubljana event. It was held in 2012. I know it's a different experience today virtually than back in Ljubljana when we all joined for the networking dinner at the end of the event. And
that was nice.
And according to our experience from all 9 events we did in the past, this networking part is really something that was never a question that we'll organize. We did it and it was really always a success. But today we are here virtually, and I truly hope that the event will also be a very great benefit for all of us having this time today. But our event actually at the beginning was named Telematics Conference Southeastern Europe. Today, a few years ago, we actually changed and broadened our focus, and that's why our event is now called Telematics Central and Eastern Europe. Also, we grew from the 60 people in Belgrade at 2011 to today when we have actually registered 230 people at the event.
Nice.
So our event and all industry changed a lot. But how do you see how the industry and according, of course, your company changed in the last decade?
Okay, let me start from the very beginning. In early 2000s, we were developing and manufacturing M2M devices, machine-to-machine, mainly wireless controllers and GSM alarms. And I remember several customers approached us and said, can you develop a device with embedded GPS receiver? We asked, like, for what? And when we started asking questions, we found out that international logistics companies were losing a lot of money due to their drivers' behavior. They were stealing fuel and making some illegal trips, delivering goods that were not reported to the main office. So we started our job, and in 2004, we developed and started manufacturing our first GPS tracking device that was quite successful at that time. Our approach was to have one device that is capable to deliver all the features to our customers. But it wasn't easy. So the device was big enough, quite expensive, similar to all the competition on the market at that time. But it wasn't an issue for the international logistics due to the fact that their savings after implementation telematics and AVL AVL system was huge, and they could afford easily this expensive hardware, expensive installation, and quite high monthly fees. At the same time, we as Teltonika were looking at the opportunities and looking to other businesses. We saw a lot of companies with big fleets, like rent-a-cars, like delivery companies, like any other fleet that is mainly consist of light commercial vehicles. And they could not afford this device, which was expensive, and all the services were quite expensive at that time. So we decided to change some rules of the game. So we developed small box small device with limited features, and we started manufacturing new series of devices, FM2 series. Many of you maybe even remember FM21, and later it was FM22, the most successful product at that time. And we delivered it for the price below €100, which at that time was quite disruptive, and it changed a lot on the market. We got a lot of positive feedbacks, and number of customers grew so much with lots of different use cases and applications. So it was timing was very similar to when you started the first event in Serbia. So when we recognized that Telematics conference is going on, we understood this is a good opportunity for us to meet all our customers in person. So we started coming to your events. That was very nice, including dinners. It's a pity today we have online event, but I hope it will be successful for you and for us also. Also, remember about the business, telematics business. Initially, we started as a hardware maker and the telematics service provider too. It was a good combination for us at the beginning because we could gain the experience from the field. We could understand the issues that all the service providers facing during the installations and satisfying end customers. But eventually, we faced a dilemma, like an issue. Should we develop it further? Should we try to be a good service provider and on the one hand to be a competitor to our own partners? So roughly 5 years ago, we made a strategic decision to end development of AVL called TAVL product. We announced end of life. And actually, many of customers recognized this and confirmed that they gained bigger trust in Teltonika. So since then, we focused in hardware manufacturing, hardware development only, and having an aim to become the best IoT telematics hardware maker in the world. Since then, our portfolio grew. We introduced many devices, and number of customers is increasing constantly. And we are very happy to say that if during the first decade, we reached the milestone of 1 million units sold, during the second decade, maybe with your help too, we reached a quite nice milestone recently with 10 million units sold and deployed worldwide. So who knows, we have a new aim to reach 100 million units, and hopefully 1 decade will be enough to achieve this target.
Oh, great achievement. Congratulations. And
thank you.
As you expose, your company and industry changed a lot. But can you just share with us and explain what was the main pain or the main challenge you encountered in all these years? Was that maybe a constant changes in the industry, or maybe always entering new competitors, or implementing new technologies or prices in the market? Anything else?
You mentioned many challenges, many issues. Of course, we're facing new issues every year, but I could say that probably one of the biggest challenges for us is to catch up with the demands from the market. What I want to say is that our experience tells us that whatever, how many devices you have, whatever portfolio you have, it's never enough to satisfy all the customer needs. When we started, it was a telematics box with GPS position, fuel monitoring, but it was never enough. Customers asked more inputs, more outputs, driver identification, eco driving, GNSS, bigger capacity battery, IP67. It's even difficult to name it. The list goes on and goes on. So most of those required features are not possible to implement by the software. So hardware improvement is a must. So we were working on improvements. At the same time, you cannot put all of it to one box. Number of devices were increasing. Not to mention even 2G. It's canceled in many regions. Now we have 3G, 4G, LTE, Cat M1. Now we're talking about 5G. Same time, we introduced several products like OBD and several others for simple and easy installation. That if you know, in Europe, for example, the installation cost is much higher than the device cost itself. So it's a challenge to maintain big portfolio, but on the other hand, it's one of the biggest advantages of Teltonika. And lots of customers, lots of needs. That's why we have more than 40 products in our hardware portfolio. We constantly improve and deliver something new, trying to be the #1 choice for telematics service providers.
Great. Thanks. Just I want to warn you that we published 2 polls already in the polls section. So for those who haven't voted yet, I kindly encourage you to go and vote for these 2 polls. So we'll see the results, and Antanas can also comment them. Just move forward with you, Antanas. This year was a very special day, a special year for everybody, I think, according to the pandemics, according to the situation, all of us needed to adapt. And also the businesses changed a lot. For example, speaking from my experience, the event management industry was dramatically changed. Look at us now. We are here today virtually with attendees from over 50 countries around the world. But how is the current pandemic situation affecting your company and industry? When you believe things will be the same as they were before, or do we all need to adapt to this new normal?
I do not like what's going on and what we see today, but at the same time, I don't think that many things we see nowadays will disappear in the near future. I suppose many of those will be a new normal, so we have to adapt. The biggest challenge this year for us is supply chain. Some suppliers complain that their resources and capacity reduced comparing to the situation they had before COVID. They are not able to keep up with the growing demand, and they are increasing lead times for some parts. Prices are increasing. Demand dropped in Q2. Probably most of companies saw this due to the lockdowns. But recently it rises up quite a lot, and it was quite a challenge to prepare for this. Most of service providers and manufacturers want to make sure that they have sufficient stocks before the end of the year. Just to name, we have some part numbers with the lead times up to 26 weeks. So that means we have to precisely predict the demand and place our orders half a year in advance. Our life is even more difficult due to the fact that most of our customers cannot predict the future precisely for a longer period of time, especially speaking about this year. So we have to plan way ahead. It is an issue, but at the same time, I could say it's kind of a positive issue due to the fact that we see growing demand and growing number of customers who trust Teltonika and want to work with us. So we have to handle it somehow.
True. And because we are slowly coming to an end of this interview, is there any, I would like to kindly ask you to share one thing with the audience. One thing would you like to share and encourage or tell to the audience they're listening right now?
Okay.
A message.
Our main value for all Teltonika organization is helping people. In these difficult times, we all should be more focused on helping each other, helping customers, and helping partners. Growth and profit is only an outcome of all the good things we do. So I would like to wish everybody to think how we can help people. Together we can surely make this world a better place to live for all of us. And I wish best luck for all the participants and have a nice event. Thank you very much one more time for inviting me. It was
Thanks so much, Antanas. It was really nice to have you here with me on the stage of this special event. I wish you a lot of success to you and your company and on your journey in the future as well.
Thank you very much.